Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zeng here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Rank, where I climb the online VGC 16 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. I'm going to continue to use the Yveltal Groudon team just for a little bit more before we switch to a brand new team. So if you have any recommendations, definitely let me know in the comments below. I'm pretty open to trying out everything. I'm going to be at Massachusetts Regionals this next weekend, so if you're there, definitely come say hello. Not sure whether I'll be there both Saturday and Sunday or just Sunday, but should be a really fun and stacked event, and I'm looking forward to doing my best. Anyway, let's just get started with the episode. Of course, rocking the same team that we featured in the last couple of episodes, all which have been pretty exciting and fun. So if you've not seen them, definitely check it out in the description below. I've updated the Road to Rank playlist. We're going to find Mr. Penguin 93 to kick off today's episode. And as always, if you enjoy Road to Rank, please share your support by leaving a like on the video. I would really appreciate it as I continue to try to keep up with the daily uploads. Anyway, my opponent here is rocking a team of Groudon, Xerneas, Kangaskhan, Salamence, Cresselia, and Amoonguss. So I really don't like facing against Xerneas with this team, obviously, as an Yveltal user. And Arash Omadi, who actually won the Germany National Championships this past weekend, he was one of the first people to use the Yveltal Groudon team to success, and this team was basically based off his, and he had modified it off another player who had won another regional with it. But in Arash's modified team, he had Jump off over Amoonguss, which was really cool, and he had Kangaskhan Salamence as well. Whereas I only have Kangaskhan. But the Amoonguss call is really, the Jump Off call is really neat because you can Encore into Geomancies should a Xerneas Geomancy. So that's something I actually really like on Arash's end, and it's a creative solution on this kind of core. So props to him for winning a national championship with it. Really cool. And the VODs are all on twitch.tv/Pokemon VGC_EU, I believe. Might go over those as well. Let's see what I want to lead with. The Amoonguss and the Xerneas combination is what's scaring me the most. So let's go with Kangaskhan, Talonflame, Groudon, Yveltal. Kind of wanted to bring Thundurus here, but I do have Power Up Punch now on my Kangaskhan, which opens up more plays, and Talonflame can potentially Tailwind should my opponent bring Xerneas and try to Geomancy. So if I Tailwind and Power Up Punch on attorney's Geomancy, then I can potentially knock it out in the future. So a very VGC 2014 lead coming out here, but my opponent's going to go with Kangaskhan and Cresselia, which is okay. I was inclined to lead with Thundurus there, so I feel okay that I didn't actually lead with Thundurus. I do have Inner Focus on this Kangaskhan as well. So the question is, what does his Kangaskhan do? Because if my opponent's Kangaskhan may be tempted to just go for an attack, he could also Fake Out. I could take the risk and Fake Out his Kangaskhan, which typically isn't a good play. But here I don't think I lose very much, because if he does anything but go for a Fake Out, then I just get a lot of damage off against it. And even if he does go for a Fake Out, Talonflame at most takes some damage. Maybe he'll Fake Out Kangaskhan, but I'm actually going to double up in his King here. He's Mega Evolving, which means he's not going to go for the Inner Focus play. Also confirming that he's also Max Speed, but Max Speed King is by far the normal set in this format. So I'm going to Mega Evolve as well. It would be really great to get this Fake Out Brave Bird play, because Cresselia can't do very much. If I can knock out Kangaskhan, then my Yveltal has a great time here. I do get the Fake Out off, which is fantastic, so I'm not sure what he goes for. I mean, we'll find out depending on his priority here. But I think it was probably a Low Kick or a Power Up Punch, or a Double Edge. And given that Talonflame's Brave Bird goes first, it indicates he did not go for a Fake Out with this Kangaskhan, so that was a really kind of a risky read, but I didn't think I could lose too much from it. Almost pick up the knockout there on Kangaskhan, but I'm content with that. Kangaskhan's going to flinch as Cresselia actually goes for the Icy Wind. So, Icy Wind, Thunder Wave, Crest obviously being very popular after Alex won the UK Nationals with it, so it's kind of cool to see how much of an impact Alex has actually had personally on the metagame. So if you see Cresselia nowadays, that's one of the sets you should probably be expecting. With that, he could Sucker Punch my Talonflame since his priority is faster. I think he might actually do that. So I'm going to Pup and Tailwind here. He could just Low Kick Kangaskhan too. Maybe that was too risky. But if you're him, you know your Kangaskhan's now faster and out priorities. Oh, okay, nope. I'm still faster. Huh. Does he Sucker Punch? He just Double Edges into Talonflame, or... Okay. I expected Kangaskhan to be faster, but I clearly don't know my speed tiers here very well. I have not played with Talonflame very often. So Kang faints. Yeah, I could have Brave Birded, but I'll take that trade-off here. Because I'll get my Kangaskhan to +2, which is still really scary for him. Especially since he's got Xerneas and Groudon in the back. As long as I attack through Paralysis, which is kind of my main issue. Yeah, playing against Thunderwave Cresselia, like, I don't mind it when it has, because it uses it for speed control, but just getting, like, multiple full Paralysis can be really frustrating. But I could have just knocked out Kang there. I do get up Tailwind, which is nice. Let's see what I want to bring in. Yeah, Yveltal is better, because he probably is going to want to bring in his Groudon. And if he brings in his Xerneas, then Kangaskhan can just double edge for a knockout into that slot. So that last turn may be a slight misplay, but live and learn. He does bring out Groudon, yep. And that means Sucker Punches into the Groudon, also really scary for my opponent. I think I'm actually just going to go for the knockoff onto the Cresselia here, though, since I'm the fastest Pokemon with Yveltal. I wonder if he's got Eruption with Groudon. I could also double Sucker Punch Groudon, but I'm not going to go risk that. I'm going to make the safest play, just Sucker Punch into his Groudon and knock off to knock out his Cresselia. Yep, he's going to protect. That's fine. So Sucker Punch fails. I could have Power Up Punched even more. I don't expect him to survive this knockoff here. Yeah. Yveltal, one of the only few Pokemon that can actually one-hit KO a Cresselia, which is kind of absurd. As it does have Lumberry, interesting to confirm that. Sometimes it's Citrus Berry, sometimes it's Mental Herb. You have a lot of item choice on Cresselia, as we are going to see Xerneas come out here. Okay. I think I'm actually just going to double edge into Xerneas, because Groudon shouldn't be able to knock me out. Well, let's see. Groudon protected last turn. But I don't want Xerneas to get the Geomancy up, because that's the one way my opponent can win this one. The question is, does he go for a Geomancy play, or does he just double up into Kangaskhan? So if you double up into Kang, then I can Sucker Punch. Or I guess I can knock off Xerneas as well. I feel like Xerneas attacks here. So I'll double edge. Oh no, Sucker Punch. Oh no. Okay, I think we got it. Oh my god, that's not what I needed. Oh my god. Groudon should have been... Is he Geomancing? Okay, no, he Dazzling Gleams. At least that's good. But that should be a fainted Groudon. That's so frustrating. But that was my fault for timing out. Because yeah, Double Edge obviously wouldn't have made much sense there. I do have another turn of Tailwind though, which is nice. And actually what that allows me to do is I can go for the knockoff onto his Xerneas to remove his potential for Geomancy. And I've got Groudon in the back here. So we should be good. But obviously could have just sealed up the game outright there. And for some reason I thought I had Xerneas in the back, because I've been playing a little bit with Xerneas recently, just testing it out. So I was like, huh, this could be interesting, but no, with Groudon in the back we should be good. I actually don't want to risk the miss. I'm going to go Eruption and... yeah, let's knock off. If you're him, you probably actually protect Groudon and Geomancy or attack with Xerneas. That actually is a little bit risky considering I'm not max, or considering he could be max speed, but he's going to protect Xerneas, so that's fine. Yeah, double protect. Although I'm actually okay with that. So I time out again. I think I timed out a couple of episodes ago too. Which is why you really got to be thinking about the timer there. Tailwind Peter's out, but that's fine. I think we just foul play Groudon now. Yeah, actually no need to risk any misses. Fire Punch. Foul play. Goes for the double but doesn't get it. Yeah, I think that was the one play my opponent had. Even if he gets it though, I'm not sure what you do, because Xerneas probably Geomancies here. Or maybe he goes for a Dazzling Gleam to try to knock out my Xerneas. Or my Yveltal, sorry. So Fire Punch comes out. Does over 50%. Yeah, he actually does risk the Geomancy, so I could have went for the knockoff there as well. But I think even with the Geomancy play there, I had the game locked up because I get the Fire Punch, and then the next one I just threaten with Sucker Punch and Precipice Blades. So I guess what you do is you protect again with Groudon, not caring about whether you attack through or not. So then it would come down to how fast is your Groudon. Yeah, now just Fire Punch. Let's see, if he has Hidden Power Ground, can I 2-hit KO the Xerneas? I think 2 Sucker Punches knock it out. But let's see. Oh yeah, definitely. So unless Dazzling Gleam gets like a super critical hit here. Oh, he's actually going for the Moonblast. Probably onto Groudon. Yep, smart play. Does a lot of dang damage, but it's not going to be enough. Fire Punch will pick up the knockout here. So that was a really scary game there because of the one misplay I had with Talonflame where I should have Brave Birded instead. Though I actually like Tailwind because it set me up for the Yveltal switch in. So Yveltal being really, really good here, just threatening Cresselia outright and putting on a lot of pressure against Groudon. The Power Up Punch there also made it a lot scarier for my opponent, and then increased the Sucker Punch damage, obviously, which was fantastic. The late game there, obviously, a little bit scary, especially because late games, Xerneas can, always sweep. But fortunate enough, we were able to prevent that, and yeah, able to take the game. So that was a really, really fun one for sure. Xerneas Groudon still one of the best cores in the game. Obviously, we've seen a lot of Dual Primal recently. Still some Kyogre, although that hasn't won a national championship yet, at least as far as I can remember. It's mainly be Groudon, Xerneas, Dual Primals, and then Rosh's Yveltal Groudon. So, gonna find an Italian opponent with a rating of 1731, so almost at the 1700 mark on our end. Do see another Xerneas Groudon, this time with Kangaskhan, Thundurus, Gengar, and Salamence. Let's see how I want to approach this one. The Gengar is the really scary thing on my opponent's team because they get Icy Wind and Will-O-Wisp, and that completely shuts my Kangaskhan down. Power Up Punch is obviously great. He also has Salamence, so I feel like he'll be inclined to bring his own Kangaskhan here. Gengar could be Mega, but I assume it's the Focus Sash variant. Although if it is, then I wonder what item Thundurus has. Probably Citrus Berry. And this is one of the times where like, oh, Snarl would be really nice. Let's see. I feel like Thundurus Leaf for this one makes sense. Yeah, Thundurus Groudon actually isn't bad. He can't do too much against Groudon, and I can Thunder Wave around. Want Yveltal for sure, and I think Talonflame for this one. Kangaskhan just doesn't fare too well against Gengar, Salamence, unless I get a Pop Off, but Talonflame here, the nice thing about Talonflame is priority, right? Because of its ability, Brave Bird can go first. So that really helps out against Xerneas teams, where if you can get some extra damage off, then you can Brave Bird even if they get the Geomancy off. And a lot of times, like Xerneas teams, or Xerneas players, they get a Geomancy off, and then they're like, oh, my board position looks really good, but then you just get your Talonflame in. So we see Thundurus and Salamence for my opponent against my Thundurus and Groudon. This is pretty ideal, I would actually say, as a lead matchup. I think what I'm going to do this first thing is go straight for the Hidden Power Ice and the Eruption. If he's your typical naive Salamence with little investment, then HP Ice is just a knockout. Hopefully this is the right Thundurus. I didn't double check because I moved around some Pokemon. But that'd be scary. That'd be scary. Otherwise, I'm actually really glad he brought the Salamence here. That's really good for me since my Groudon, uses Eruption a lot of the time. And I didn't bring Kangaskhan, so I'm not that worried about the Intimidate. So I feel like I got the better end of the Mega choice here. So I'm going to HP Ice and just Eruption. And this should be a really good turn regardless. I think the most my opponent can do, you protect your Ments or you switch out, but he does not have good switch-ins to Eruption. He's going to switch out though, but Thundurus can't do very much right now, so I'll take this turn. And Groudon's probably the best Pokemon to get brought in, but that's still going to take around 50% from the combination of attacks here. Still don't know what Thundurus has though. Let's see. Groudon's going to come in. He's not going to protect. He's going to see the HP. It is going to be Hidden Power Ice. Still does around 25%. Oh, he's got Wild Charge. That's cool. So physical Thundurus on my opponent's end. But that means that Thundurus is going to be going down right now from the combination. Because Groudon doesn't take any damage and just gets a free Eruption off, which is phenomenal here. And yeah, that's almost perfect turn 1 for me. I mean, I guess I could have protected my Thundurus and Eruption, but no, I'm really content with how that played out. I was afraid Thundurus had Focus Sash, but not the case. He's going to bring in Gengar, but things are just looking even better here. So with Gengar, my opponent didn't even bring Xerneas, which means Talonflame is looking really darn good right now. Part of me wants to conserve Thundurus, but I know I could also just Thunder Wave Gengar and Eruption. Or get Thunder Wave Protect. Well, let's play safer here. I know I can deal with the Ments in the back with Yveltal and Talonflame, so that's why I don't think conserving Thundurus is that important. But I'm really surprised my opponent did not decide to bring Xerneas when I had Yveltal. Like, that's just kind of weird to me. Which makes this a lot easier. This game is looking pretty good right now, especially after that first turn. Gengar could be Mega, but he doesn't. Groudon protects first, meaning I'm going to get the Thunder Wave off as well, and that's really good for me. You could go for a Trick Room, which would be cool. Ah, the skill swap play to give Groudon the Levitate. And the Rock Slide comes out. Nice play. But I'm not sure how much that really helps my opponent. Now I just switch into Talonflame. Once again, I don't know how fast this Groudon is. Actually, no, Yveltal's the better Pokemon to switch into. What am I saying? Yeah. Because even with Intimidate, Sucker Punch knocks Groudon out. Since he's got Rock Slide, actually what I can do is just double up onto Gengar. Like, even if he's max speed and he wins the speed tie, he doesn't have a way to knock out Groudon, so sure, Eruption will pick up the knockout, but Gengar presumably has the Focus Sash here, and Groudon might want to protect, and if he protects, then I think I just win the game. Or you could switch out to Ments. I don't think that's a good play either. If you're my opponent, you probably want to hope to get an attack off with Groudon. Depends on what Gengar has, but yep, Groudon does go for the Protect, and that's really good for me here. That's what I was basically expecting. So Foul Play here, plus Eruption will knock out Gengar, of course. It is paralyzed. It does have the Focus Sash. So Thunder is maybe having an Expert Belt, given that it's the Wild Charge variant. I'm guessing it's one of those that can like deal with both Kyogre and Groudons. Actually, no, that doesn't make sense. It wouldn't have Hidden Power Water. But yeah, Gengar's going to go down. And it's going to be Ments coming in. This is even better for me because it means his Ments cannot go for the Intimidate against my Talonflame, which means Talonflame's guaranteed to Brave Bird off. So, looking pretty good right now. And I think I'm just going to go for the Foul Play onto Groudon to ensure the knockout and Eruption here. Ments at most can Hyper Voice or Double Edge. Both of those, threatening attacks in terms of damage output, but neither can knock either of my Pokemon out. So I think he might have to hope for a Double Edge critical hit onto Yveltal, but then Eruption could still win the game. So, not sure if my opponent has enough firepower to close out this one. Let's see. Maybe a Double Protect on his Groudon, but no Double Protect coming out. He's just going to Hyper Voice there. That should mean I have the game won. He actually does get the critical hit onto Yveltal, which is a little bit scary, but now I'm going to get a Foul Play off to knock out the Groudon. Eruption's going to do some damage to his Salamence, then I can Sucker Punch, Fire Punch, and then Talonflame, Brave Bird to close out the game. So I knew Salamence was a little bit scary to deal with, but I knew that I had enough firepower as long as I knocked out my opponent's other Pokemon. As Eruption there actually gets a critical hit in return and does a lot of good damage there. So I'll just Sucker Punch here. Like I said, with Talonflame in the back, my opponent can't win this one. And he's not going to substitute or anything, so Sucker Punch here almost picks up the knockout, actually. So Yveltal putting in a ton of work today. Here's Hyper Voice coming out. And yeah, Groudon's going to hang on with a little bit of HP, get the Fire Punch off, and that should be game. Yep, as it is. That was intense as well, but I'm just really surprised my opponent didn't bring Xerneas. I thought that would have made the match a lot harder, but obviously I'm not complaining. It was pretty straightforward after the lead matchup. Like, I thought I just had a phenomenal lead against him, and he didn't really have any options. Like, he had no safe switches to HP Ice Eruption. I guess even if you bring your Xerneas, like, that can get dunked on as well. But yeah, it ended up just playing out really, really nicely. If you led with this Groudon, like, I think that could have been a potential play, since it would have been pretty scary. Like, not knowing how fast this Groudon is and its moveset, and he could thread in potentially some early damage, and that means I can't just spam Eruption. But from the lead matchup, I knew I was really safe to use Eruption because Thundurus with the HP Ice covered Salamence. And that's why HP Ice is so important, I think, on this Thundurus and on this team. But yeah. that's going to be it for this episode. Really fun one. Once again, following the trend of, the same legendary duo for each episode, but 2 differently constructed teams there. Didn't see too much out of Gengar. Would have been cool to see what else I had. Presumably something like Icy Wind, Sludge Bomb, Taunt, but yeah. It's going to be it for this episode. As always, leave a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Alright, peace.